Hi, my name's Bryce. Welcome back to VHS Play, where we are playing The Legend of Dragoon and recording it all on VHS. Right, D-pad makes me walk. Hey, here we are. We have just defeated Gyric, and then Gyric talked, so therefore he died. And now we need to go back to the castle. And as I was loading up my save, it was very much just like a, oh right, seeing where my save was, and we have to walk all the way back. Which it's fine. It's fine. Other games do this. It's just like, it is one of those things of whenever a game doesn't do this, where they actually have like a whole like, oh, we need to go here, and we just go there. Instead of like, you know, and now walk all the way back. You know, I think about it, like Final Fantasy VI does this. There are occasions where it's just like, oh hey, we have accomplished the mission, let's return back to where we were coming from. I'm trying to remember exactly at what points in the story it happens, but there is a thing that happens at some point that's just like, hey, we had a goal, and we accomplished that goal, and now let's go back. And they don't make you walk back, you're just there. Anyway, I appreciate whenever games do that. It is a bit on the rarer side, quite frankly, because that's just what happens. And like, at the same time, sometimes it's worth having the walk, like the full walk back, as opposed to, you know what? No, I'm just gonna use one of these on you, and you can't run away. That's what you get for attacking me. I don't know, like, it's one of those delicate balance sort of situations of just like, man, that sure did read an extra input. Missed the last hit. Oh. Anyway, like, sometimes it's worth having that extra walk and that extra journey and like the actual, like, you know, the going over there part of things. Sometimes it's worth just, oh no, we need to get back there. Just teleport the player. And like, again, I'm coming off of Final Fantasy VI, which is, again, one of my most favorite games, and of course, it has an instance of, hey, we have accomplished our mission and doing the thing, and now we need to, like, let's go home. And we just go home, and there's not really any nonsense about it. It's just like, yep, we're good. Let's scram. The returning home provides no returning home provides no, like, narrative experience. And I think, if I remember correctly, this is also like at a time that you might have access to airship, maybe, and they don't want you to have access to airship, so of course they want you to, like, by making you walk, or by just teleporting you, they don't give you the option to, like, get off track and off course. Anyway, again, random musings about RPGs and stuff. I should have had Shauna defend, since she keeps getting attacked, because for whatever reason, everybody loves to hit Shauna. Alright. We're gonna at least give Shauna one turn to defend herself and recover some hit points. Having opinions again. Got a terrible case of opinions. I don't know, I was just looking at the defend thing there and just like defending is Shauna and she gets like it's like 10% of your hit points or something like that. So it's like it makes sense. Is it 15? Maybe it's 15%. Anyway, point is, and we do have to walk all the way back. Okay. Defending the recovery of hit points based off of defense being based off of your total hit points, like, it makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways. But it does also mean that for characters like Shauna, who already have like a low like physical defense score anyway, like, it's a health recovery problem all over again. Like that is always what these rambles are about, is the recovery problem of just like, how do I recover mana? How do I recover health? And like the interchange of those things. And yes, we are saving this early on because I don't want to have to walk 15 yards again. And again, like this is the goop. This is the goop. The stuff that like I find interesting about RPGs is this. Essentially, the word is economy, as much as nobody wants to call it that. Recovering health in this economy? Anyhow, words and things and stuff. I just realized that one upside down rock. Does the rock stop here? No. Let's finish the thought. Upside down rock actually has like the shadows on the bottom of the rock, which is the top of the rock because it's been flipped. Anyway, I think that's kind of neat. Anyhow, point is, for Shauna, defending is just like a less good option. Do I want to just burn everybody's... Yeah, why not? The reason why not is that we then end up watching full transformation cutscenes. Which at least those are short. Spells are not. Welcome to the Dark Zone. Which I now realize this spider urchin is dark flavored. A pew. Right, I actually have to try. Victory Rave in the Dark Zone. Alright. Defending and percentage health stuff. Like, it makes sense. It makes it to where, like, that is going to... your defense stuff is going to recover a specific amount of health. Well, hey. It makes it to where your the health recovery is going to level up with you, and, like, that's all well and good. Like, that... The core of that concept is fine. Everything works as expected. Everything works as intended. Power grows as you level, etc., etc. My... Where, again, I run into the problem is, like, defending as Shauna is going to recover, like, 72 hit points, but she can take, like, 150 hit points of damage in, like, a single turn. Or just, like, even just a single attack from some random enemy. Who's more dangerous? I think it's you.
Die. More and more.
Yes. Missed. Oh, way too early on that one. And like, this all also goes into all the things about like the characters have different abilities and like, you know, Rose is really on par with Dart. Dart is kind of our baseline character who has to have like some slightly higher physical defense, etc. For, you know, the reasons of he is the main character who is always in the party, and also the character that you start as, and also like the character who will spend the most time with before we have the Dragoon transformations that actually, like, you know, vary things up and, like, you know, give us something to do with greater attack power and greater defense, and also magic. So, like, of course he has to be the baseline accomplished warrior. Probably not even worth doing this. In terms of recovery, though, like, blah, 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 the rock flies are actually, like, a nice little thing. It's always one of those, like, killer bird. I don't know, it's a common element that you see in RPGs and whatnot of just like they will have certain areas or things that you can interact with to recover health. There's a miss.
Die. More and more.
I will wrap up this thought on defense and whatnot. Defense being percentage health base. Like, again, the problem is you have these characters with lower health pools and lower, like, with their lower health pools, they also have lower defense. And therefore, like, them defending is less effective in terms of just in every way. And, like, again, that's kind of fine because, you know, character flavoring and all that stuff, and characters should have different strengths and weaknesses and whatnot, but, like, when defending is kind of, like, I want to say the primary source of hit point recovery, then you just have, and that feels disingenuous. Like, this is the thing. It's just like, what is the primary source of hit point recovery? Quite frankly, rock flies. Like, that's the best route of recovering hit points, is find a rock fly. It's like, either find rock flies or find... Which way is the way out? That's treasure. Get around the rock. There we go. Hey, champ. I'm impressed that not only you went into the valley, but also subdued the gang. Sure did. We did it. Heart of Journey, Part 2. Okay, we can actually just walk the rest of the way back to the castle at this point, I think. Hope we don't run into any death robots in the random encounter table. I think that's ultimately my question with this game is like, what is the intended primary hit point recovery system? Because it feels like it's supposed to be the defend action at times, but also, like, again, I've pointed this out before, with defending you can't, like, with defending, if you're only defending, you're not putting out any damage, and therefore, you know, you're not actually making any progress towards your goals. I was wrong. We have to go through here. 3 not exactly dungeons later. Okay, story stuff, I guess. Hey, we'll be in Donau soon. Go home quick to her, you handsome man. Meru, you're kind of odd to voice. Kate's worrying. Dart, I cannot thank you enough. I have to say it. Thank you. Now, Donau is saved. It's just the beginning. The mayor must be taking action now in response to your courage, Lynn. Man, my voices are not hitting today. Finally, that mayor is taking action. Thank you for your guidance, Meru. What are you talking about? It's not over yet. What? Dart's journey won't be easy. What you guys do is not normal. Monsters like Viragi appear, Dragoons, Gigantos. I thought they only existed in fairy tales. I can't explain it, but I think there'll be a lot of things I can help you with. So why don't we go to Flet's now? We can't procrastinate like this, right? It'll continue to be like a traveling 3-ring circus. All right. I'm going. Say hello to Kate. Please, come to our wedding. I'm having it tomorrow if it's possible. Bon voyage. Alright, so now we could go back to Daniel. And I do wonder if the game would let us go back to Donau, and also I do wonder if I should go to Donau, because last time I didn't go optional path, it got destroyed. Yeah, I agree, Dart. Have a sit and a think. You know what? Let's go to Donau, if it'll let me. I forgot we even had Lynn with us. Anyway, like, to continue this great big long ramble about combat systems and all that junk. Like, it seems... What is our primary health recovery system? That is actually, like, a question I had not fully considered. Like, in all of my rambling and ranting about this not problem, but, like, problem in terms of, like, a math problem of just, like, solve for X, solve for primary healing ability, or primary source of recovery. And It's like, okay, let's list our options. We have defending to recover like 10 or 15% health per turn. However, whenever we're defending, we're not actually putting any damage out. Oh, you're the folks that Lynn invited. I see. Ah, perfect timing. They're in the middle of the ceremony. Hey, we made it to the wedding. Oh, it's time for the couple to come out. Oh, look, she's throwing the bouquet. Thank you. Acquired Kate's bouquet. Thanks to you, our city has reclaimed its peace. I cannot explain in words how much I appreciate it. We just went to get something important back. It's due to you and your people's efforts to bring the city back to normal. Oh, no. No, it was you who imparted us the courage to do it. We were wondering if you would like to settle here now that peace has returned. Thank you. But we have something we have to take care of. I understand. It's a shame, but you have to do what you have to do. We don't know what you have to take care of, but we know you can complete anything you want. Good luck. I'll be praying here along with the baby I'm expecting. Good luck. I was surprised when I came back to Dano. Everyone in the city got together and kicked out the gang. To tell the truth, I hardly saw Mr. Lynn's wedding. Who could have imagined the peace would come back to the city in a few days and Lynn would be able to have a wedding? And they all lived happily ever after. Hopefully. Alright, up there. All the grown-ups got together and kicked out the gang. Orf. I'm relieved that scary person is gone. I'm trying to remember if there's anything like actually in this town that I care about to check on or otherwise. I believe this would be the... No, this is shop, or is it inn? Near the inn. Alright, since we stopped by an inn, going back to other ways of health recovery. The inn. You have inns in towns, which do seem to be one of the primary... this is, of course, a primary recovery point of, like, get to a town, hit up the inn. But, like, it also seems to be... It also seems to be some amount of, words and stuff and words and stuff and words and stuff. Do I actually want to? I should, probably, in case they throw her into my party forcibly. You already have one. You're good. Cool. Anyway, sources of recovery. We have inns. We have inns and towns. We have the rock fireflies randomly in dungeons. We have... Is also an inn? Oh, it's this place. We have recovery healing items that we can purchase in town and take with us. And occasionally find in dungeons as well, and they come in various flavors. Currently, we've only seen the 2 flavors of heal a person for 50% of their health, and heal a person or heal the team for 50% of their health, which is blah 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 words. Again, like we see this percentage-based healing and recovery and whatnot. Which, again, is fine. Like, that... It's always one of those... It's one of those things of, like, what do you base your healing amounts off of? And if it's not, like... Running down another tangent, you have, like, your various methods of... It's based off of percentage, it's based off of... Healing can be based off of percentages, it can be based off of just, like, raw, like, hard numbers that do not change. Like, a potion always heals 300 health, and therefore potions become less effective as the game continues, and you'll need to find your higher and higher level potions, or start using curative magics, or whatever is available to you, which those are your third category of, like, based off of some stat or something along those lines. Hello, Centaur Man and excited jackalope thing. It's not a jackalope. Is that a tiger body for Centaur? Arrow shooter.
Die. More and more.
Trying to remember what was in cannot move in midair, just stops and jumps. I was trying to remember where I was in the list of, like, recovery things. So dang it. In our list of recovery thing, the last form of recovery that we haven't touched on, put a pin in that, actually. There's one more other type of recovery that we haven't touched on, and we'll get there. Miss. You hit. There we go. The last type of recovery that we have control over is the musing arrow. Hello. Is magic, but magic is also tied to the whole Dragoon thing, and I've rambled more than enough about that side of stuff, but, you know, rambles might repeat and continue, etc., etc. Shauna, hey, so you better attack, chance to confuse, less accurate. Neat. Cool. Actually got a good enemy drop. Anyway, the put a pin in it thing, and I kind of led on with that we have control over there. The last form of health recovery is actually story beats that provide us with a set amount of recovery. Of just like, hey, something happened in the story that is important, so let's just, you know, hit full recovery on the party. That just happens from time to time. We don't have any control over that, so it's like, it's one of those things of like, should we even actually include it in this list of like recovery options? But it is and also every once in a while you just get far enough in the game that it says, here, have a recovery. So I believe with that we've listed all of our recovery options. We have magic, we have items, and then we have like the set recovery points and defend. When it comes to item recovery, we do have like the problem, quote unquote. This is when it comes to item recovery, we have the inventory limits is what we run into, and like the inventory limits are really tight. Is what I have found thus far is just like that 32 items. You fill that space up real dang fast, and like it makes it hard to have like a consistent stock of healing items on hand to recover. So healing items are like, maybe they are meant to be the main source of healing, but they become difficult because of their limited quantity. Like they cost gold or gil or whatever. I don't actually know what I think it's gold. Whatever our currency is, they cost currency that we earn from fights and whatnot. So it's like they're effectively unlimited, but they are also limited, and yes, it is just gold. So it's like you have this interesting mixture of like limited but unlimited, or like technically there's an infinite amount of gold in the game. You can just go out and keep killing things, and then every once in a while you need to go back to town to heal. And again, that's making use of the set point healing of healing, you know, at an inn or whatever. The thing that really, like, when it comes to healing items, the greater limit, like, it's not necessarily the gold that's the problem, it is the inventory space problem. Because, boy howdy, this inventory space is drastically limited. Like, I am already sitting, again, at 27 out of 32 items, and I do have, like, a half-decent collection of, like, this is not a great collection of healing items, quite frankly. Like, I've got 4 healing items, which 2 of them are required to get any one person up to full hit points. We have plenty of MP recovery things, because MP would be like, MP can become health, and therefore it's like it's a 2-step transfer of things of like take item, turn it into MP, also get enough Dragoon points for Shauna, mostly Shauna, but Asterisk Rose also has that one drain spell. Use these things to get MP for one of those 2 characters to go Dragoon and use their magic to heal people. So honestly, I probably do not need as many of these things around as I do. I don't know if I've ever purchased one, but I sure do have 5 in my inventory, and 5 is already, we'll just go with extremely rough percentages, roughly about a 1/6 of my inventory. We have the revivals, which I have only, at this point, I now only have 3 because I have used at least one. I've used a couple and also just had to throw them out because I'm running out of spaces. There's the status recovery things, and of course there's 2 types of status recoveries, of like anything affecting the mind and anything affecting the body. And again, statuses can be really, 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 really bad in this game, so I don't find myself wanting to get rid of these. There's another, like, this is taking up 1/5 of my inventory, just for those mind and body purifiers. We then have all the attack items that just kind of happen, and like I'm trying to work my way through them slowly. And then we have like the magic sigil stone, which is easy math. 1/32 of our inventory goes to this repeatable but very useful item. And then we also have the speed up, which is repeatable again, doubles agility for 3 turns. How useful is that? Remains to be seen, honestly. But it's a repeatable item, so it's like I don't want to get rid of it. So that means that we have 2 of our 32 spots taken up for these quote-unquote permanent items, which then makes all of that math that I was doing before, where I was rounding out to just 30, makes it nice and easy to, yes, this is in fact one, is just like, that's my inventory. That's how those numbers I was throwing out are much less rough and much more accurate. Anyway. Ugh. Again, I am rambling all the time about this stuff because I find it fascinating. I find it really interesting, and like it is like a key core part of like all of this design of like the interchange between gold for items, items for MP, MP for HP. What does HP, like you're trading HP for gold essentially, and like there is a loop in that that system of like you need to trade hit points. Like ultimately you are trading hit points for gold, and if you are trading more hit points than you are getting gold, like in the full math out of it, of like it takes more hit points for you to get enough money to stay at the end, then that's a bad situation. It's only like 20 gold to stay at the end though, so that would be a really, really bad situation that you're in at that point. So it's like you need to be spending less HP than you are getting back in terms of gold, which becomes recovery or some other thing. You have those free healing points in certain dungeons, which those would be fine grinding spots, because then you can hang out and you have the rock flies that you can go to recover with. So you can just sit there and do your fights and grind up a bit if you need to. Grinding in this game, not something I ever want to do. I'm holding back a yawn, something fierce. I'm motioning with my hands while just sitting on this menu. It happens far too often, I'm sorry. But also, like, we are coming to a wrap here because we're at a point of my recording clock where it's just like I don't want to walk into another town that is definitely going to have some story events, and those story events might turn into like 5 boss battles in a row. So we are going to wrap it up here. I'm just trying to wrap up my rambling about health recovery stuff. There are the free options in guarding and rock flies and the story recovery points. You have your cost money items, your cost money recoveries of healing items and ins, but also like the recovery items. Ultimately, like with the recovery items, it's not the gold that is the limiting factor for the most part. It is the inventory space that becomes the limiting factor. So you don't want to burn through your gold buying like the recovery items that are kind of costly, quite frankly. But you could grind and recover using an inn, because it's like, oh yeah, it's 20 gold for a night. Great. How much does a healing potion cost? Like 100. I don't know. How much could a healing potion cost? $10. And again, like all of this interplay of these numbers, like that's always what it comes down to, is just like an Excel sheet. Is like, if you boil it down, it's just an Excel sheet that has an interesting, what happens if I change this number and then this number goes down, but this number goes up? That's That's RPGs. That's just RPGs. Is here's a fancy Excel sheet, but with graphics and stuff. And I find it fascinating from just all sorts of various directions. And like, again, apologies for constantly repeating myself and rambling through, oh, let's talk about the systems of this game, because I'm not sure if I am satisfied with them, is what it comes down to every time. But also, like, it sure is giving me plenty of time to ramble about JRPG mechanics. Anyway, I've been standing around rambling for 5 minutes, so it's time for me to shut up, call it a day. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Have yourself a lovely evening.